Inflation affects everyone, but it's vital for those getting close to retiring. You might wonder what inflation is and why it's such a big deal for creating the retirement of your dreams. Well, don't worry. I'm here to explain it all to you. I'm Jason Bergquist. I'm the owner and founder of retirementofyourdreams.com. Today, we're diving into part 3 of 3, money protection to create the retirement of your dreams. If you missed part 1 about long-term care, click the link below and watch part 1 in this series. If you missed part 2 about death benefits, click the link below to watch part 2 in this series. In today's video, we'll delve into inflation. We'll cover 1, how to protect your retirement purchasing power from inflation. We'll discuss purchasing power, like how much your money can buy in the future regarding your retirement. 2, how to prepare for inflation on a fixed income. Many retirees live on a fixed income, meaning they get a set income each month. But what happens when prices keep going up? And 3, how to balance fixed income and expenses, even during inflation. We want to cover your expenses forever, right? We want to make sure you have enough income coming in to cover those expenses for as long as you live. But if inflation exists, and we know it does, that can be a challenge. Let me introduce myself if we still need to meet. I'm Jason Bergquist. I joined this business to help people create the retirement of their dreams. I've been doing this for over 20 years, so I've seen all the ups and downs of the markets. My whole goal is to help educate people, help them understand how to set up the retirement of their dreams and bring hope back into their lives. I realized this was my calling in 2010 when I was going through a divorce. And at that time, I was financially at the all-time low. And I realized that I wasn't practicing what I preached. So I committed right then and there to practice what I preached. And I studied and worked harder on myself to be better for you. I became an independent financial professional and a certified financial fiduciary. This experience has allowed me to do what's in the best interest of my clients and have access to the best in class products for you. Now I have a team of experts helping me figure out all of the best options that are out there to empower you to create the retirement of your dreams. Okay, let's jump into part 3 of 3, money protection to create the retirement of your dreams. We'll delve into these points one by one to help you understand how to protect your money from the effects of inflation. Let's start with our first point, which is all about purchasing power or buying power. So number 1, how to protect your retirement purchasing power from inflation. Now, what does that mean? It's all about how much stuff you can buy with your money. And guess what? Inflation affects this a lot. Inflation is like a sneaky thing that makes everything more expensive over time. Think about it this way. When I was a kid, I asked my dad how much our first home cost us. He told me it was around $54,000. That might sound like a bargain, right? Well, here's the twist. Back then, in the early 80s, the interest rate on the mortgage for that house was a whopping 18%. That's like paying a lot more money over time. Well, you think about your future and the retirement of your dreams. You need to consider inflation. It's like a guest at the party we didn't invite, but it has shown up anyway. So here's the deal. It's best to look at what you have in place right now. And are the ways that you are planning to earn money in the future going to actually keep up with the price increases? And if they do, well, you have enough coming in to keep up with as fast as the income or your income is increasing to keep up with the prices that are increasing. Inflation going up, prices of goods going up. Let's put this in perspective. In 1980, you could buy a lovely home for around $54,000. But if you fast forward to 2023, you'd be hard pressed to find a home you'd even want to live in for less than $400,000. That's a big difference. So you see, it's crucial to consider how inflation affects your purchasing power and how you can ensure that your income is going to keep up with those rising costs. Let me ask you a couple of questions to put this in perspective. So 1, how much did you spend on your first home? Think about that number. 2, now think to yourself and answer this. How much did you spend on the most recent car you just purchased? Might be painful to think about, right? Now, 3, Think back to the first time you were aware of the cost of gas. Maybe you remember as little as 15 cents a gallon or even 40 cents. I remember when I first started driving back in 1993 and my dad making sure I didn't pay anything over $1 a gallon. If it was more than $1 a gallon, don't get it, right? Now look at gas. So you see, it's crucial to consider how inflation affects your purchasing power and how you can ensure your income keeps up with those rising prices. Now let's dive into the second point, all about fixed income. So number two, how to prepare for inflation on a fixed income. You've probably heard the term fixed income when discussing retirement. It means that during retirement, you have a set amount of money that's coming in every single month to cover your expenses. But here's the kicker. Most folks forget about inflation. As we go through life and enjoy those retirement years, inflation keeps doing this over and over. It's like a slow but persistent creeper that makes things more expensive. In the past, we've helped folks plan for retirement. We used to assume that inflation would be around 2 to 3%. We thought that was a safe bet. But things have changed, my friends, with the roller coaster of events, especially after COVID-19. Inflation rates have climbed nearly double digits. That's like prices jumping faster than a squirrel in a sugar rush. So here's the deal. Consider a higher inflation rate, maybe 5 to 8% when planning for the retirement of your dreams. We might run into trouble if we don't do that and stick with the old 2 to 3% plan. Better safe than sorry, right? Imagine this. Think back to the wild ride of egg prices during the COVID-19 pandemic. Prices went all over the place, right? And when you go out now, you've probably noticed that even your favorite Tuesday night $5 movies have crept up to $5.95. And the cost of going out to eat, don't even get me started on that. Sneaky, right? All these examples show how inflation affects your finances and daily life. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now let's dive into teaching point number 3, discussing fixed income versus fixed expenses. Number 3, how to balance fixed income and expenses, even during inflation. We have all dreamt of having more monthly income coming in than we need to cover our bills, right? That's the sweet spot. It means we don't have to think about returning to work or worrying about running out of cash because the money is rolling in and it comfortably covers our expenses. But hold on, here's the plot twist. Our expenses would likely outweigh our income if we didn't plan for that pesky inflation. And that's not a fun situation to be in. Let's consider an example using Social Security and pensions. If you're receiving Social Security or plan to in the future, you probably noticed a nice bump in your payments from 2022 2023. It felt pretty good. That increase averaged about 8.7% cost of living adjustment, or COLA. That was the highest COLA since 1981 when it was 11.2%. The COLA increase was due to the highest inflation rates in 41 years. That sounds great, but did it keep up with the rising costs of goods and services? Social Security averages about 3.2% increase, but some years that's zero. Check out the chart at ssa.gov. Here's the scoop. Social Security was a bit behind the curve in getting you that bump in your benefits. And even when it didn't quite match the speed of inflation. It's like trying to catch a race car with a bicycle. Now, some pensions do have cost of living increases, which is fantastic. But not all pensions come with this benefit. So here's the deal. If you're banking on Social Security or pension to be your financial answer during retirement, and you're counting on the cost of living adjustments to keep up with inflation, you might need to rethink your strategy. History shows that these adjustments often fall short due to rising prices. So what's your plan? Are your investments ready to tackle this challenge? We've got options on the table, and one of them is an income annuity, which provides a guaranteed monthly payment that can keep up with inflation, ensuring that you have more money in your pocket as time passes. So it's time to examine where you are and where you stand closely. Do you have income sources that weather the inflation storm? Let's get together, crunch some numbers, and make sure that you're in a position that your plan can cover whether inflation is cruising at 3% or it's 10% plus. Your peace of mind matters. We're here to ensure you have it. Let's look at it from a different angle, something you can easily relate to. Think back to when you very first bought your first home. Keep that number fresh in your mind. Recently, I was presenting to a group of about 40 folks, and the average age in the room was about 60, 62 years old. When I posed this question about the cost of their first homes, the responses varied. I had someone who bought their first home for as low as $16,600, while most mentioned figures in the 40s, 50s, and even 60 range. Hold that number in your thoughts, the price of your first home. Now let me hit you with this. How much did you shell out for the last car you purchased? It's a bit of a head scratcher, and I don't get many eager replies. Let's face it, it's not a topic we want to flaunt. But here's the kicker. When you spent on that shiny new vehicle, it probably came close to, if not exceeded, the price of your first home. I know we might be talking about a span of 40 or 50 years when I ask this question, but here's the deal. These comparisons become essential if you plan for your retirement to last 20 or 30 or more years, and it very well likely could. Think about it. Recall the days when gas prices barely made a dent in your wallet when you first started driving at 16, compared to what you're shelling out at the pump these days. Clearly, the cost of living is skyrocketing. Inflation is an unstoppable giant that we must prepare for. Now let's discuss your financial game plan regarding Social Security and pension. If you're banking on these sources to boost your standard of living, that's fantastic. They can certainly be a part of your retirement income. But here's the kicker. Even if you're lucky enough to have these sources, they might not grow as fast enough to keep up with the rising costs. So what's the bottom line? Well, let's fill in the gaps. Now let's consider investments and other opportunities. One of the strategies I often recommend is an income annuity. This financial tool guarantees you a monthly income, which can be a lifeline for covering your ongoing expenses. But here's the magic. If this annuity can keep pace with inflation, your monthly income can grow over time. And that's a game changer. We can delve deeper into this option during your free retirement of your dreams call to tailor it to your situation. Now, take a moment and assess your unique scenario. Check your Social Security benefits. If you have a pension, weigh its prospects. Pensions are becoming rarer, especially among the younger generation. During a recent meeting, I found that only 30% of my attendees had pensions, and shockingly, just one person in a group of 40 said their kids had a pension. This shifts our responsibility to those nearing retirement and those already in it. We need to figure out how to secure the income we'll need in the future. If you're grappling with this and discussing this with your children, you're dealing with a whole new layer of complexity that perhaps you never had to worry about. So here's the action step. Closely examine your financial situation and where you're currently standing. Do you have income sources that are likely to increase over time? Now let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. We should sit down, conduct a thorough analysis of your financial situation. I'm here to help you put together this crucial puzzle piece. I can provide you with projections and scenarios, tailoring them to your needs. Whether you want to plan for a modest 3% inflation or take a more cautious approach with a 10% projection to cover worst case scenarios. I'm here to guide you through it all. Okay, to recap what we've gone through today, here's what we covered in part 3 of 3, money protection to create the retirement of your dreams. 1, how to protect your retirement purchasing power from inflation. 2, how to prepare for inflation on a fixed income. 3, how to balance fixed income and expenses even during inflation. So now you understand this critical importance of purchasing power in determining what your money will be worth during your retirement. Incorporating inflation into your fixed income plan to bridge the gap between your income and your expenses, especially when expenses are bound to rise. I invite you to request a free Retirement of Your Dreams call to learn more by clicking the link below. This video wraps up our money protection series, but stay tuned to join us soon for the next series about money security. In the meantime, watch my free video below to discover my 9-step Retirement of Your Dreams blueprint by clicking the link below. Please scroll down and please let me know your comments in the section below. What was your biggest takeaway from this week's video? Thank you for considering Retirement of Your Dreams as your partner on your financial journey. Again, I'm Jason Bergquist, and we're committed to empowering you to achieve the retirement of your dreams.